This is my geometry course. Today we're going to take test number 4. In the previous class, we did a practice test together, and I gave you a practice test for homework. Be sure to finish that practice test before taking test number 4. If you take this test and you fail it, then that means that all the work that I put into it is for nothing. So do not take this test unless you've completed the practice test for homework. And remember, you can go to the description section of each previous video and click on the time code where it says screenshots of classwork, and that's going to be your primary source for studying the subject of mathematics. You cannot take a test without studying for at least 2 days. So be sure and study for this test, or else this whole exam is going to be a waste of time. Go ahead and put your name and the date and the course title, geometry, on your paper. You're going to lose a point if you don't, or 3 points for not writing those things. As usual, there's 25 problems on the test, 4 points each for a total of 100 points. Show the work. When there's work that you can show the work. Now there's no real time limit. I do want you to finish the test in one sitting. You can take a 5-minute break if you need to, but I don't really care how long it takes you to finish the test. As usual, you can take an hour or 5 hours. The most important thing is that you can demonstrate that you can do this material. Now, clear off your desk. No textbooks, no internet, no previous notes. The description section, time code, where you can look at the class work, that's for studying for the test. But if you're going to take the test, you shouldn't have any of that stuff in front of you. No help from anybody. This should all be in your head. So go ahead and take screenshots of the test, or take pictures with your phone, however you're going to do this. That's screenshot number 1 and screenshot number 2. And screenshot number 3. And number 4. And number 5. And number 6. So go ahead and take the test. You can use a calculator on the test, that's okay. And when you're done, you can come back to this point in the video. So push pause, or write down the time code, and when you're done with the test, you can come back to this point in the video. So go ahead and take the test, and I'll see you when you come back. Alright, we're back. So the test should be completely finished. Don't look at the answers until you finish that test. So here's the answers. Go ahead and take a picture. And here's the second page of the answers. And now I'm going to show you how to score your test as you look at these answers and figure out if you got the problems right. I don't really need to talk about this a lot because we already went over this stuff, but remember, the problems requiring algebraic steps, if you did most of the work correctly, then you can give yourself half credit. When it comes to the proofs, you want to assign credit equally to each part of the proof, and that requires you to use fractions. I know that's kind of an inconvenience, but just try your best. And some of these problems require units. If you forgot to write the units in your answer, then subtract 1/8 of the points for that problem, or that part of the problem. So what that means, let's say that there's 4 parts to a problem, and on one of the parts you forgot to write the units. So that part of the problem would be worth, well, first of all, the total problem would be worth 4 points. Each problem is always worth 4 points. And if there's 4 parts, Sorry, my pen is doing something weird. I don't know why. So there's 4 parts, right? That means each part is worth 1 point. And if you forgot to write units for one of these parts of the problems, then you would subtract 1/8 of this point, which would just be 1/8 in this case. If there are 2 parts to the problem, part 1 and part 2 over here, then each part would be worth 2 points, because again, every problem is worth 4 points. Sorry, I don't know why my computer's doing that. But if you forget to write units in this part, then you subtract 1/8 of the points for that part. 1/8 of 2 would be 1/4. So that just gives you some guidelines on how to score your paper. So go ahead and score your paper, your test. And when you come back, we'll talk about how to interpret your score. So pause the video, write down the time code, and when you're done, come back to this part in the video. So I'll see you when you come back. All right, we're back. So we don't really need to talk about this because we've already gone over this, but if you scored 90 to 100, then that's excellent. If you scored 80 to 89, that's good. And if you scored 70 to 79, that's good enough. But anything less than that, and that means that you need to do something different. Whatever you're doing, it's not enough to really learn this material. If you got an A, that means that you did very, very well. If you got a B, that means that you did well, but there's still a few things you need to work on. And if you got a C, then that means you did well, but there's quite a few things you need to work on. And again, failing, that means you need to change something, or else you're not going to learn fluency in the math. Again, that's the purpose of any math course, is to learn how to read and write the math. And so, again, if this is the 4th time that you've scored in the red, then that means that you probably need to go back to the beginning of the course or try something else. 99% of the time, it just means you're not putting in enough effort. Math courses require a lot of effort, and I mentioned before, there is no magic potion that is going to somehow make you do well in this course without putting effort in. On the other hand, if you scored in the green, then excellent. I'm proud of you. Good job. And I'll see you in the next part of the course.